Well, okay, it's good to see you. How you doing?
I'm alright, thanks yourself.
Yes, all good, thank you. And good to see you back, of course, as well after such a long time out. What's it like being back amongst the squad playing again?
It's just a relief more than anything, I think. Obviously, when I'd done it, I didn't think it would be that long, and then I kind of had a staggered meetings with the specialist, and it seemed to just get more and more time every time we met with the specialist to how long I was going to be out for. So getting my head around that and then tackling my rehab was difficult, but no, I think I'm in a much better place now because of it.
What were those 7 months like? Would you just talk us through what's happened and give us like a timeline?
So obviously, like I just alluded to, I spoke to the specialist. Didn't think it was initially that bad. He said I spoke to Craig, the physio, and he said 3 months. The specialist said we're probably looking more like four. So that was a bit of a downer. And then he got the images through it and the report and stuff, and he said it's more serious than it first appeared. And we're looking at more six and a half, 7. So tackling that news and then sort of doing the really slow, boring kind of things like basic exercises that sort of you take for granted, like bending your leg and getting the range of motion back in. That was sort of the first part of the rehab. Plenty of icing, and then it sort of transitioned to gym based, where it was building back up the strength into a little bit of pitch work, complemented by the gym work, and then full time pitch work and a few weeks back in training, and then now back in the match day squad.
So, what exactly was the problem?
It was a lateral meniscus tear. I think if it had been medial, it wouldn't have been half as bad. You can tend to just play on or have the medial sort of cut out, for want of a better word. But the lateral one needs to repair. So it was lattice stitched back together, and the healing time just takes as long as it takes, kind of thing.
And I mean, the injury in itself will be incredibly frustrating, but I guess the timing must be even more so because obviously, you scored the winning penalty in the playoff final in May, your first month in the EFL, and then you're out for nearly all the season. So the timing must be particularly frustrating.
Yeah, I think sort of any injury lasting that long is frustrating. It's gonna, no matter when it happens, it's gonna last the majority of the season. It was frustrating that I was on such a high, went away over the summer, had a nice summer with the lads and family, and worked hard to come back fit and strong. Felt like I was in a good place, and then had a conversation with the previous gaffer about sort of how I was going to get in the team and get a run of games potentially, and I was looking forward to that, and it was more or less the same week that the injury occurred.
I think that's really interesting. What's it like having a new manager or head coach come in whilst you're out? Does it feel like you almost kind of can't prove yourself in a way for a bit?
Yeah, it's a bit sort of you sat there in the dark kind of thing, but this manager was fantastic with me. Do you know what I mean? He spoke to me very early on, sort of within the first week of being here, and typically a lot of managers wouldn't tend to have much to do with the injured players because they're not available, they can't help them right away, but he was great for my mental state and said, look, get yourself right and you're going to be a big player for us. He's sort of spoke to me about how he'd seen me play a number of times, obviously at Gateshead previously, and obviously played against him last season at Wellstone. So he said he was a fan of mine and he liked the way I played, and I could bring something different to the team once I was back fit. So that was good and give me that little bit of encouragement that probably was needed to get back over the line.
Well, obviously, you got back into the squad on Monday. As soon as you came out to warm up, every Notts fan made a great noise for you, gave you a great reception. What was that feeling like?
Yeah, if I'm honest, it was quite emotional. Sort of, I realised that I'm quite appreciated here by the players and the staff and stuff, and to get that reception from the fans, it's just another big, massive encouragement to go and like just kick on really and try and show them what they've been missing, kind of thing. And I feel like after the work I've done in the rehab, I'm a much better and stronger player for it.
What's it been like, particularly as a striker, having to look on at this team that's scored the most goals in the division? You must be itching to get back out there.
Yeah, exactly like you said there. I've been itching to get back out there and get involved, and I've had little sort of snippets in training when I've been building back up and getting a taste for it, and I always leave the session thinking, oh, I want more. But the physios have had to like rein me in and say, no, just take it slowly. So now I feel like I'm in a really good place now.
And obviously, someone else that you're looking on to is Macaulay Langstaff, someone that you've been a teammate of for a long time at Notts and at Gateshead. How happy are you for him to be the top scorer in the league?
Yeah, delighted. Obviously not surprised off the back of what he's done over the last 2 seasons. The only sort of thing that maybe took me a little bit by surprise is how different his role is. Like I think I've said in previous interviews, under the last manager, this manager, and in comparison to Gateshead, I think he's proven that he's not just that out-and-out number 9. He's got more to his game than that, and I enjoyed playing with him at Gateshead and last season as well. So hopefully if I can get back in the team, then we can do the same again.
And obviously, to get back in the team, you're gonna have there's someone else that's come in since you last played as well to sort of fight for that place, with Alassane Jatta coming in as well. So there's lots of competition now with you back as well up front.
Yeah, AJ offers something completely different again, and he's got off to a great start. And I don't think it's going to be a case of trying to get people out the team. It's going to be a case of helping each other and bringing our different attributes to whatever's needed in the game. And I'm sure the gaffer will identify what is required and choose the team accordingly.
Obviously, you're at contract in the summer. Signed a 2-year deal a couple of summers ago, and you spent a year of that out. Have the club held any talks with you about that in the time that you've been out?
I think it's been difficult for them to sort of speak openly, because there's always question marks when someone's been out a long period of time. But I feel like I'm training well, and if I can get some minutes between now and the end of the season, then I can sort of show that I'm still capable of doing what I did last season and even more.
Hope so. Thank you, Cedwyn. All for me.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hi there. Not too many from me, but firstly, you see a lot of strikers talk about that feeling and buzz when you do score a goal, and you've been out for quite a while. How much have you missed just that feeling of seeing the ball hit the back of the net and then running over to the fans and enjoying it with them?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. But you've got to put everything in perspective. I was driving down last night and listening to a former teammate of mine on a podcast, Nick Anderton, and he spoke about his illness, and it just makes you think that, do you know what I mean, things could be a lot worse, and it makes me hungrier to get back and get that feeling again, and make sure that I don't waste time or miss up on any opportunities, and really savour the moment, but sort of kick on again.
And just in terms of the link up, getting back on the pitch, linking up with the other attackers that you've been so accustomed to scoring a lot of goals with, do you think you'll need to kind of reawaken that chemistry that you have with the players, or do you think it will just naturally happen after 3 games?
No, I think it's just one of them where if you play with good players, then you'll just naturally get up to speed. And like I say, I've been training in sort of the patterns that the gaffer wants to play, and training's been very specific on the play style and things like that. So no, I feel like I've got a good understanding of what's required, and it's not exactly like I'm not expecting to be chucked in 90 minutes. I'll be integrated slowly if and when the gaffer sees fit. So I feel like it'll just come naturally. I won't have to force anything and just play my game.
What can the fans expect from yourself in terms of this last run to the end of the season?
Just loads of hunger, I think. I know it's going to be tough to make the playoffs, but for me, it's, do you know what I mean? There's certainly no flip-flops on, sort of speak. I'm hungry and desperate to score goals. You know what I mean? I've not scored in the Football League, so to tick that off would be nice and sort of take it slowly, one step at a time. But I think I'll bring plenty of enthusiasm. Might be difficult to get up to full match speed. with only 5 games left, but I feel like I'm a lot stronger. And if I can get a nice taste for it, and if I'm here next season as well, then the plan is to kick on in the summer again and come back even stronger.
Does Stuart have any different ideas of how he wants you to play and set out in comparison to Luke? And do you think that you'll be played in a slightly different manner, or has he spoken with you how he wishes to play with you?
Yeah, he spoke to me. I think it's very similar. He likes the sort of fluidity of my play style in terms of I can play it down the middle, or off the left, off the right if required. And I think that helps to sort of work with the other players as well. The fact that you look at Maka and Dan Crowley and Didsey, who can all play, Sam Austin as well, who can all play across that sort of front four kind of thing. So no, I think it's very similar in a way. There's slight tweaks to the build-up and things like that. I think you saw the first goal we scored at MK at the weekend. That's sort of what the gaffer was looking for, to open up those inside pockets to get on the ball. And you see, I think it might be Azza plays one into Dan Crowley. That's something we've worked on in training a lot and starting to really get a grip of, and hopefully we can produce more performances like Saturday.